hazardous chemical or toxins enter the water source, which in turn could harm human health and ecosystem. But what about in Malaysia? Based on our research, there are three main factors that cause water pollution in Malaysia. Firstly is untreated wastewater. Second is improper disposal of livestock. And third is the improper disposal of industrial waste.
But can you explain more about the three main factors that cause water pollution in Malaysia?
Okay, let me explain to you guys. Okay, the first factor is untreated wastewater. Untreated wastewater in Malaysia have caused 25 polluted rivers in the whole country, which in turn harm the ecosystem and cause high BOD level. The second factor is livestock waste, such as animal urine and cage washing water. They feed them into the river and cause water pollution. The last factor is industrial waste. The improper disposal of industrial waste could cause hazardous chemical and toxin enter the water source and harm the marine life. As I mentioned, the first main factor that causes water pollution in Malaysia is untreated wastewater. Untreated wastewater could cause high BOD. So let my teammates explain to you what is BOD and carry an experiment to show you how severe is high BOD in our water.
Biological oxygen demand is also known as biochemical oxygen demand. It is the amount of oxygen needed to break down the organic waste in the water. For example, aquatic need a certain amount of dissolved oxygen to survive. So, when there is organic waste in the water, bacteria will use oxygen to break it down, which is reduce the oxygen available for aquatic life. When the organic waste in the water decrease, the biologically oxygen demand will also decrease. So, the higher the biologically oxygen demand, the more polluted the water is. But how does biological oxygen demand happen? Biological oxygen demand will happen when wastewater like sewage enter the water. It will provide food for bacteria and other microorganisms. Microorganisms, especially aerobic bacteria that need oxygen, will start to break down the organic waste and reduce the water dissolved oxygen. As the bacteria break down the organic waste, the bacteria will use oxygen from the water to help with the process. The more waste the water is, the more oxygen will be used by bacteria. If there is a lot of waste, biological oxygen demand will become higher because the oxygen can run out quickly, which is aquatic will have insufficient oxygen that can lead them to death.
Next, we will conduct an experiment to show the amount of biochemical oxygen demand in the water. Let's see what we need to conduct this experiment. First of all, we need a 300 ml BOD test bottles. Then, we need a dissolved oxygen meter. This is to measure the dissolved oxygen concentration. Other than that, we also need an incubator to maintain the temperature at 20 degrees Celsius. Other than that, we need a wastewater sample. We collected the wastewater sample from the water plant treatment. Next, we also need a dilution water to dilute the sample. Last but not least, we also need pipettes and graduated cylinders. Next, we will move on to the procedures of this experiment. First step, we need to prepare the BOD test bottles. After that, we will pour the dilution solution into the bottle and use the DO meter to measure the dissolved oxygen concentration. And its results are 9.4 mgl. Next, we will use the pipettes and the graduated cylinders to add 5% of wastewater into the solution. Then, we need to put the solution into the incubator for 5 days and maintain the temperature at 20 degrees Celsius. After 5 days, we will need to measure the final dissolved oxygen concentration using the DO meter. It is to see the change of the dissolved oxygen concentration. The results are: next, we will move on how to calculate the BOD results. As shown, we need to use the BOD5 formula. We need to use the initial DO and the final DO we calculate earlier. P is the dilution factor. We need to use the volume of wastewater, volume of dilution water. To calculate this, we will use the formula of P earlier. 15 is divided by 15 plus 285. It is resulted as 0.05. Then, our initial DO are 9.4 mgl, while after 5 days, or known as the final DO, we will get 8.87 mgl. After using the formula, we will get 10.6 mgl. However, there are rules that we need to follow to get the acceptable results. First of all, the change in DO concentration must be higher than 2 mgl. To get that, we need to use the initial DO minus by the final DO. Then, we also must have a final DO that is larger and higher than 1 mgl. Our results are not acceptable because it's too diluted. The difference are only at 0.53 mgl. This is because the dilution solution is too diluted and we add too many of the dilution solution. So, for the next time, we need to decrease the dilution amount in the test. That is the end of our experiment to show the amount of BOD in the wastewater.
As we know, water pollution have a bad effect to human and marine life. For example, the effect can happen to human is can cause the human to suffer from cancer. It is because pollution water that contain toxic chemical and pollutant is often used for human. Not only that, it also affect to marine life, such as the reducing of marine life population in the ocean or water source, since water pollution could cause less dissolved oxygen in the water. How to reduce a water pollution? Firstly, the ways to reduce water pollution at the treatment site is waste management. It means usual that always is disposed of correctly and the material like sand, cement are secure. Not only that, insultant tanks also can be a waste. For it means using insultant to prevent headless and maintain consistent temperature in the treatment tanks. Secondly, the ways to reduce water pollution at home is save water. It means using less water can reduce the amount of the water that's need to treated in service, which use a fuel and chemical.
Second ways can do at home is dispose of water properly. It means don't pour oil and parts, and also don't dump medical in the toilet and river.